Hi and welcome back to SunnyRoots. So today actually something dawned upon me, and that was basically that we already have really great gurus around us every day that are readily there to show us exactly the type of things that we need to do to get back to our sunny roots, to get young and to feel great. And all you need to do is look at them and think about their life and the things they do. And you'll quickly start to realize that the things that these gurus do are exactly what we should also be doing on a regular basis. So, who am I speaking about? Well, quite simply, children. Our own children, or the neighbor's children, or the children you see in the school, in the playground. Yes, you think maybe children wouldn't know too much about life, but the truth is they're the ones who know everything about life. We're the ones who've forgotten about it. And, to look at it, let's start looking at what type of things they do. First of all, children are always active. They're running around from one place to another. They can't even sit still for more than 2 seconds at a table. They're always moving their bodies left and right. When they run, they don't just, slowly, casually jog and so on. No, they run. And they're active. And the less active you are, the closer you are to dead. Basically, death is absolutely stopping activity. So think about that. The next thing is that children, they don't hold back their emotions. As adults, we've learned that we need to constantly control our emotions and keep it behind and not show people what we're thinking or feeling at that moment. But this causes a lot of tension inside of you and doesn't really show who you really are. And it's not good for you to hold back your true emotions. And children are great at releasing these emotions immediately. They go out, they scream, they yell, they run around like wild, they cry, they are always there showing exactly how they feel. It's really easy to read them. There's no lying about it. And when they go to sleep, they're not having, nightmares about all these emotions that they've been suppressing the whole time. The next thing that children tend to do really well is sleep. Children sleep a lot, and they sleep well when they sleep. And sleep is very, very important for us. And I have other videos where I'll go into the importance of sleep, different areas of energy, but sleeping is critical. And it's probably one of the things I do the worst, to be honest. And one of the things that I notice has the biggest impact in my day-to-day life. So sleep is something that children do a lot of, and they are very healthy and energetic because of it, because this is the place where you rejuvenate. Next is that they're very flexible. Children are extremely flexible because they're moving their bodies around the whole time, doing all kinds of activities, falling down and stretching and this and that. Their bodies are very flexible. They don't get hurt, and with the flexibility, they're able to keep healthier for much longer. And that's why it's important for us to maintain flexibility as much as possible. And exercise is one way. Obviously, yoga would be a great option to gain additional flexibility. But I think an effort needs to be made every day of your life to enhance your flexibility. The older you get, the less flexible you get, not only physically but mentally, and it then will impact your life drastically if you don't keep up with it. The youngest people are very, very flexible people. Children are not afraid to be themselves, so they don't need to make any appearances. They really show you who they are. They'll put on face paint and shirts and bring weird rocks that they've collected somewhere and show their creativity and all these type of things are things that we've learned in life that we shouldn't do because it doesn't suit the status quo of society's expectations of how you should be. And the truth is, we're not robots, we're humans, and we're all individuals, and we ought to always be authentic in the things that we love in life. And being authentic is just a very important thing, and being yourself. So practice being yourself as much as possible. Don't be a soccer ball to other people's opinions. It doesn't matter what the other people think. What matters is that you are happy, that you are alive. What other people think is something they can worry about, and they'll forget about it anyways within a few hours. So just be authentic. Kids have an incredible capacity, or not capacity, but I would say they haven't learned to think about the future or the past. So because of that, they are in the present moment at almost all of the time. This is why children, when you're in the car going on a trip somewhere, they tend to be asking like, are we there yet? Are we there yet, Daddy? Are we there yet? Driving us insane. But the truth is that when you start thinking about being there, you know, you're not there yet, which is what we do all the time, thinking about the future and so on, it forms a tension. And you can see that immediately in the children. When they're in the car, they want to be somewhere. They want to be in the now. They can't be in it yet. And so tension creates them to ask the whole time, are we there yet? And being in the now is so important. It's so critical to really being happy in life. It's one of the fundamental areas that needs to be looked at and practiced. And this is one of the key areas that you will be going into with meditation practices and breathing practices, because they help you to become aware of the now, of the present moment, not worry about the future, not worry about the past. That's why children just keep forgetting things, keep leaving things around, because they're in the moment, they're just enjoying life as it is at that moment. There's no, oh boy, I shouldn't do this because later on that's going to happen, or oh, I remember I did that, and then no, that's something that's learned and taught to them by parents. Children have not yet lost their love for animals and nature. You'll see that children are always in love, you know, all hugging, petting, interested in nature and in animals. They don't want to harm these creatures. If they even know what they're actually eating, they would stop. If they see what's actually happening to the food before it's being put on their plates, they would never eat it. I mean, most children, just by nature, are quite picky in terms of what they eat. And if you were to show them exactly what they're really eating when they've got a steak in front of them, I guarantee you they're not going to be happy. Give them a bunny and an apple and see which one of the two they'll eat. I guarantee you a child will always choose the apple. Very important, children are able to forgive very easily. Now, I've gotten very angry at my daughter many times, and a few hours later, maybe even a few minutes later, she forgives me for it when I come and apologize, you know, and I say, I'm sorry, you know, Daddy was a bit upset, a little stressed from work or something along those lines, and she forgives and loves. So we need to all learn to forgive. And once you forgive, it's gone. That weight, that burden is just lost. There's no more there to you know, cause you pain and suffering. So forgiveness is something children can teach us a lot about. Another thing that is very obvious is that children smile and laugh a lot. So they're constantly smiling, constantly laughing, constantly. And I don't know what the ratios are, but it's something like children laugh 700 times a day, and grown-ups laugh only like 5-6 times a day or so. It's really sad. I guess we've learned to suppress our feelings and our emotions so much that we don't even laugh anymore. And laughing is great. It heals you, it releases, and it radiates really nice energy. I mean, when you see children and they're all laughing, you feel great. Children, they don't judge, you know, they don't sit there and look, oh, wow, that's an Indian kid or an African child, or I shouldn't play with him because his skin color is different from mine, or his religious background is, you know, Christian or Catholic, you know, Muslim, whatever it is. Children don't judge, and they play with other children regardless of color and religious background, ethnicity, etc. And this is something humans have to do as well if you really want to live a happy life. Something I struggle to believe that people still are that way, to be honest. It just baffles me, but unfortunately it's true, and it's something we need to realize, that we're all on the same planet, all in the same boat. We just grew up in different areas, our bodies just adjusted. Children like to be together with other people, with other children. You always see children playing together with other children. They don't like to be isolated and alone. So it's very important. The community is important. You know, a support group is important. Being with others is important. Don't isolate yourself and just sit, you know, in your little, you know, your little castle, hidden away from everyone. Spontaneous. Children are very spontaneous. They act immediately on any impulse they have. They don't hold back, and it's something that we need to try to practice as much as possible. Children love walking on bare feet. Have you ever noticed that? Children are always running around barefoot. Yes, they injure their feet a lot and so on, but walking around on bare feet is a connection to earth. And this connection is very important. And it helps you increase your health, your back, your body. It helps the energies that flow through your body to be grounded. So it's a very important thing that we need to do as much as possible. Don't wear your shoes if you don't need to. Walk out on the grass, in the green grass. Feel it underneath your feet. Children are very curious. They're curious about everything. They're always questioning everything. So they're always looking at things with intrigue and curiosity. And this is something that young people do. Young people are always curious and asking questions, and they never seem to know enough. And they're always wondering about another thing. Why is that the way it is? And where are we here? And being curious is a wonderful thing. It makes life so interesting in so many ways. Have you ever noticed how children just leave everything laying around everywhere? They don't seem to really care too much about material objects. Well, that's because they really don't care about material objects. Money holds no value to them. The level of enjoyment that that object gives them is the only thing that's important to them. They don't care how much it costs. They don't care if somebody puts a brand name on it or something like that. This is all nonsense. Thanks very much. Please subscribe, give a thumbs up if you liked what I said here, and observe your children, observe other children, and see what they do that you could do to improve your life so that you can grow some sunnier roots for yourself.